I love orange juice, but typically, I'll be honest, I just buy it in a carton. Today I'm going to test out 3 different manual juicers because you can't beat fresh juice. We'll find out how easy they are to use, how effective they are at juicing, and how long it takes for each one to juice 5 oranges. So let's start with this one. It's called a manual hand-press fruit juicer, and it says it's ergonomic, no waste, and durable. So let's open it up and take a look. So it's this solid aluminium alloy hand press. It's got these nice long handles which will give you good leverage, and we'll be squeezing the fruit in here. Oh, I see, there's this plastic filter tray inside, and a plastic liner to collect the drink too. To remove it, I think we need to take off the top. You can unscrew the nut here, then slide out the handle. And here's the juice collector. It breaks down into individual components, which should make it easier for cleaning. They've also given us this bag of pieces. Apparently this stainless steel tool is for removing fruit pits and seeds. And it's also got this serrated edge too, so I guess you can use it for cutting. It comes with 2 mesh bags as well, which you can use for fruits with a fine pulp if you don't want any pulp in the drink. But I'm not going to worry about this for the orange juice. The cost of this juicer was £24 in the UK, or it's $27 in the US. It feels like a sturdy and well-made item, and I'm reassembling it now so we can see how well it works. It really does feel solid. And the base here has got 4 feet, so we can sit it down on a work surface and use it like this to squeeze our fruit. I sliced an orange in half, placed it inside, then gave it a good squeeze. That's cool, you can definitely see it squashing out the juice. It does take quite a bit of force to push, and you can see this piece is kind of curled around the outside a bit. I'm opening it up and removing the pulp, but it does look to me like some of it has been squeezed down past the filter. I put the other half of the orange in, and let's give that a squeeze too. Oh yeah, it does kind of burst around the sides a little bit. That's a shame, but I'm opening this one up, putting it all back down inside, and giving it another squeeze. Well, we've definitely made some juice there, so next the idea is we can pour it through the spout straight into a glass. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. And you can see there's still loads of it pulled up at the top. I think the pulp has kind of blocked it a bit. If I lift out the filter tray... Oh dear, this is all a bit of a mess. Well, yeah, there is still a load of juice in there. I let it all trickle out, and this is what we got. So in terms of ease of use, I wouldn't say this is the easiest. It takes a bit of force and it does seem a bit messy. I think it's difficult to get all the juice, but we'll be looking at that later. But how about this one? Well, this one's kind of a countertop press. It looks great. There's this lever, and that lifts up and down the press plate on the top using this large kind of worm gear. It fits neatly over this stainless steel juicer, and we can remove this from the base, and the juicer section sits on top of this stainless steel collection cup. They look great. They fit together quite nicely, and the whole thing looks and feels quite robust. It's pretty much in the same price band as the other one at $26 or £20. So let's see how easy it is to use. I placed half an orange onto the juicer, then used the lever to start pressing it down. Well, it seems to be working. I am pushing quite hard with this lever, so it'll be interesting to see how well it works. I think that's about done, so I opened it up. Well, it's looking good. And put in the second half. Squeeze it right down again as far as it'll go, and the juicer tray should collect any pips or big pieces of pulp. And with that one done, we can lift off the cup and remove the juicer. And well, that's looking promising. I tipped it into a glass, and well, I don't want to get too scientific because these oranges are all slightly different sizes, but it looks like we've collected a little bit more juice than from the last one. Next I want to take a look at this one. Rather than being a press, this one's more of a juicer. The top lifts off and we've got this juicer section here in the middle, which slots into this collection jug underneath. And I think what differentiates this from a normal juicer is this top, which has a series of spikes in it to grip the fruit. So instead of holding the orange with our hand and twisting it, we'll be using this top, which should give us more leverage too. It does feel a bit thin and plasticky, but this one only cost me £9, or $9 in the US. Let's see how well it works. So we place half an orange on the juicer, slide the top over, start pressing down and give it a twist. Well, that's definitely doing something. I can feel it grinding away. It's actually super easy, my hands aren't getting sticky or messy, and the increased leverage and comfort makes it really light work. First thing I notice is you can see the indentations from the spikes. Lift it off, and it's looking good. I placed the other half on top and repeated the same thing. After giving this half a few twists, I lifted off the top again, and this time the peel was stuck up inside. I can just tap it out, and well, that was easy. You can see it has collected a lot of pulp here, and if I lift this section off, there appears to be quite a lot of juice inside. So I'm pouring this one into a glass as well, And it's probably given us the most juice so far, but don't forget the oranges could be a different size. If we take a closer look though, this juice has definitely got loads of bits in it. And if I compare it to the other two, these two really are smooth, virtually no bits at all. But I think a good way to see how effective these juices are is to see what they left behind. If we start with a hand press and take a look what's left, there's actually quite a bit left in here, and when I take a closer look, you can see it is still holding a lot of juice here. I think this piece was a piece that kind of slipped around the side, so it didn't get pressed properly. This piece of skin was really well squeezed, but there are definitely pieces left behind that were still holding juice. Now if we take a look at the two halves that were left behind after using this press, again, it's done a pretty good job, but I did find on the outside edge along here, there is actually still a lot of juice left in the fruit. There's definitely more to yield. But in contrast, if we take a look at the two halves we left behind after using this juicer, I'd say these two have been really juiced out well. I really don't think there's any more juice you could get from here at all. That's impressive. And don't forget, this one was by far the cheapest juicer out of all of them. In fact, if I take the two halves that we left behind from the other juicer, I'm going to try running these through this juicer to extract every last drop that we left behind. I did the first one quickly, gave it a squeeze and a twist, and then the second one too. And after I'd done them both, I found I extracted this much more juice. So this is all juice that the other press left behind. And although it's not a huge amount, if you were juicing 10 or 15 oranges, it really would start to add up. Next I'm going to time how long it takes me to juice 5 oranges with each juicer, and we'll measure the output too. I'll start with a hand press, and I'll be speeding up the footage here and get to the results. This time with a hand press, in an effort to stop the fruit squidging round the sides and blocking up the filter, I decided not to squeeze it quite so hard. Hopefully it'll be a bit cleaner that way and not cause any blockages. It does seem like there's still a bit of juice left behind in the halves after I've squeezed them, but we'll see how much I extract. Well, to do all that, it's actually taken me 6 minutes and 2 seconds. I guess it may have been a little bit quicker if I wasn't filming, but I am surprised it took so long. If we look inside the press, it is a lot cleaner this time. I think maybe I was just squeezing it too hard before. It has left a little bit of juice on the table from spillages and drips, and the orange halves do still feel like there is a bit more juice to be extracted, but we have got about 430 millilitres. It's really nice and smooth, and it gives us a nice glass full of orange juice. You can see there's hardly any bits, just a few at the end. When I drank the juice though, it did taste a little bit bitter. I think using the hand press folds over the orange skin a bit, which squeezes out some of the zest and makes the drink a little bit bitter. Next I'm going to repeat the test with a table press. I do like using this one, it is pretty cool. However, it does seem to leave behind quite a bit of juice left behind in the fruit. We'll have a look in a minute. The total time to juice 5 oranges with this press turned out to be 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So a little bit longer than the hand press. I am surprised. And if we look at how much we extracted, it was exactly 400 millilitres. Again, it's really nice smooth juice with hardly any bits. This one was delicious, because this press doesn't fold over the orange skin at all. I don't think it squeezes out any zest, so there was no bitterness in the drink at all. Next we're going to try out this one. I do love how simple this one is. It does work effectively, and it seems to clean out every last drop from the peel. To do all 5 oranges with this one, it took me exactly 6 minutes. So they are all very similar in time. It definitely seems to have cleaned out the skins really well, and if we look at the yield, we've got nearly 600 millilitres. That's a huge amount more than the last two. Now, the juice is full of bits, it's not smooth like the other two were, so that's definitely going to account for why there's so much more volume. But take a look at this, it's given me nearly 1.5 glasses full, for the same amount of oranges. Pretty cool, huh? And they were all a similar size. This one tasted lovely and sweet, really nice fresh juice. And personally, I like the bits. So, considering this was the cheapest juicer out of all of them, I'd say it's probably the easiest to use. You definitely get the most juice from it, and it turned out to be the quickest. If you've enjoyed this video, you might also like to see some of these really cool kitchen gadgets, or some of these cleaning hacks. You can click on the links. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.